We're continuing with our thoracic spine mobility today. So if you haven't checked out the first section, the first video, the first part of this video, look at that first. It can kind of set the table for what we're going to do today. Last time we finished off with type 1 spine motions. Today we're going to be doing type 2 spine motions, and then we're going to bring it up to our feet as well. Okay, so we have our 5-minute timer. Let's get moving. So, type 2 spine motion means I'm laterally flexing one way and rotating to it. I call this one the clap because I'm reaching down, I'm rotating down, and I'm trying to bring my hands together. I can return back here. So reach down, big sweep. I'm trying to create length across the back line of my shoulder girdle and the back between my shoulder blade and my spine. So these are just designed to kind of stretch an already stretched tissue from being bent over. The idea is if we get it to stretch further, then we can activate the elastic recoil that our tissues enjoy. If we get them pulling back, that'll help us be more upright and not feel so like, ugh. So that's one way of getting type 2 spine motion. Another way, a little tough to do seated, but we are going to do, I'm going to give you a side view for this one. So if I start here, I'm going to rotate down and back, and then reach over, rotate down and back, and reach over. 1 and 2. Now this can be more simultaneous as opposed to 1, 2. Whatever feels better for you, that's what I want you to do. So all of this is seated. If you have a particularly wide chair, this might be a little tricky, but not to worry, we're gonna do these standing up next. So I'm gonna come back to our type 1 spine motions, and then we're going to do our type 2. So type 1s, we started out in a T, one arm's coming over, one across, and return, one over, one across. Now, notice if your hips want to contribute, we can allow for this. It becomes more of a global movement pattern, whereas if I keep that kind of locked in, now it's going to be more limited to my thoracic spine. Try both out. See what feels good for you. Right now, we just want to be moving. So that's our first of the type 1. The second, I'm reaching down, rotating up and back. Same idea, I can allow my pelvis to help out. I can allow my hips to shift with this. And with that shift, I'm still trying to create the rotation from my belly button up. I don't want my whole hip kind of rotating with this. For now, just trying to create some opening through the ribs here. So now let's try those same type 2 ones we just did sitting down. So the clap. Notice that as I reach down, hips shift away, and I'm rotating to that hand. I'm trying to clap them together. It's a big reach. If I shorten this to get there, I'm not quite getting the elastic recoil that we're hoping for. All right, and now tricky one. This is the one where we kind of reach and come over. This one, I notice how my hips actually come forward to allow for this. This is a tough one for a lot of people because a lot of people don't feel comfortable translating their pelvis forward. And instead of feeling the front line of their bodies stretching, they feel compression in their backs. If this is you, you can augment. I'm just going to put my hand on the wall and reach over. This gives me a little bit of stability so that I can go through more comfortably. This type 2 spine motion, we don't necessarily find ourselves in a lot, but if we did, it might open up some stuff so that way when we're sitting, we're not feeling like, ooh, my neck, or ooh, my back, it's all jammed. All right, so we can make this more dynamic by adding more involved at the hips. But for now, you can practice these in the chair, we can practice these upright. If you have any questions, put them in the comments.